So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about two-step solutions for multi-step equations. Now, here are the rules that we need to follow. One, you're going to move all your numbers to one side and your variables to one side. Now, the configuration of this type of solution will always have you have the variables on the left side and the numbers of your equations on the right side. Okay? Now, the second stage of our problem when we're solving these multi-step equations is once you've moved everything to the left and to the right, you need to collect all your like terms. So, for example, if I had 3x plus 4x, I'd put them together to get 7x, right? Now, at the very end, if you have a number that's sitting on the front of your variable, you must divide out that number on both sides. So, what do I mean by that? Imagine I got this problem. Solve algebraically. 5m minus 6 equals 9. Now, I know you guys don't like when you see an m on your screen, so let's just make it 5x, right? So it says here for our rules that we have to move our numbers and variables to one side, right? So let's do that right away. So we're going to ensure that our variables are on the left and our numbers are on the right. Now, I've spoken to you about this already. I just look at my equation and I see what I know is already in its right spot. The 5 and the 9 in our basic equation here are in the right spot. The 5x is on the left and the 9 is on the right. Now, we have to actually take that last thing that's there, the minus 6, and what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we got a minus 6 on the right side, and we need to move it to the left side. Sorry, to the left side. So if it's minus 6 on this side, and I move it to the other side, we need to remember when we change the side, we change the signs. So in this case, instead of having minus 6, we're going to have, plus 6. So now we take our time and we look on the left side. Left side is fine, no collection of like terms. But on the right side, we have 9 plus 6, which is 15. So once you have that, we have to look at the third stage of our problems. We have to divide the number that's on the variable away from that information. So let's do that. So we're going to take 5x. And what's the opposite of 5x? It's just dividing by 5, isn't it? So we divide both the 5x by 5 and the 15 by 5, right? Just remember, if you see 5x, it really means 5 times x. So now when we cancel out the left side, 5 divided by 5 is 1, which is nothing, which means we have x is equal to, well, 15 divided by 5, which gives us 3. And we're done. So now, imagine if I have an equation that looks like this. Minus 18 is equal to 4p minus 2. Okay. Now, what we have to do is we have to follow the same pattern that we did before. What we must do is we must take our time and move all of our numbers to one side and all our letters to one side. So let's go and take a look at this. So there's another way we can do this, so I'll kind of just show you how it's done. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put an equal sign down. And the first thing that I'm going to do is look for all of the variables that I see here. Now, you'll notice I have a 4p here, right? I'm going to take this 4p and I'm going to move it over to the left side here, since it's on the right. So moving it over, if it's 4p here, we must change the sign and change the sign, which means 4p turns into negative 4p. So we write this as negative 4p. And then I cross it off. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the next thing that's important to me. There's no more variables. So now I'm going to start moving all my numbers to the other opposite side. So if I look on the left here, I have minus 18, or I have minus 2. And I notice that minus 2 is already on its appropriate side. So you know what? I'm going to work with that right away. And I'm just going to bring that down. I'm going to cross off my minus 2 and leave it on the left side. So I cross that off and I say, okay, hold up. I have 18 on this right side. The minus 18 is on the wrong side. So remember, if I have it on the wrong side and I need to move it over to the other side, I have minus 18. When I bring it over to the right side, it becomes positive 18. So now we have negative 14 is equal to minus 2 plus 18. Now, here is the next part. The most important part is to look on the left side and you see, is there anything we have to simplify? Do we have to bring any two numbers together, any two variables together? No, we don't, so we're good here. But on the right side here, we have only numbers. And because there are only numbers here, we can simplify this right side, couldn't we? We have minus 2 plus 18, which gives us a final answer of 16. And we still have our minus 4p. All right. So that's good. Now what? The last stage of our solution is to divide both sides by the minus 4 that's sitting on front of our problem here. So we divide both sides by negative 4, and that gives us p by itself is equal to negative 16 divided by 4 is 4, and we are done. So now take a moment, go and take a look at the questions that we have on the page that's associated with this video, and do a couple of the questions that you see there until you feel comfortable.